you've got a child in the home. Umntana bega right. Umntana didn't have a problem. The child was okay. All of a sudden, the child starts screaming, or they don't know how to speak anymore. And they were crying. They were crying. There was a voice coming out. All of a sudden, the child can't speak. All of a sudden, the child has problems ngamehlo. All of a sudden, the child is misbehaving or whatever the case might be. It's because they saw something that they were not supposed to see. If you're a businessman that goes Uyolanda umkovu and you bring it within your home and you have a wife and you have daughters, let me tell you, my brother, the mkovu is going to sleep with everybody from your wife to your daughters. Whoever
Umahlasela ngomthondo amava ehlasela ngamavolovolo intombi zamangisi ziyamfuna ezabesuthu ziyenqaba zithi bathunga umgube lalela ngihamba nomfazi onamasende the woman with balls. So I want us to go back to la uthe khona wena uthwele ngedlozi.
Okay, when we talk about idlozi,
because yazi why ngifuna ukusho njalo. It's because you will find people abazofika la kuwena bethi hey mina ekhaya umkhulu wathatha idlozi walaphambanisa selisebenzela.
No, but lawa umuntu ophehlela amanzi amnyama.
That's why ngithi ngifuna ngithi usichazele lapho.
That is umuntu ophehlela amanzi amnyama. Angithi mabathi uphehlela amanzi amnyama kusho ukuthi idlozi selukuflathele lisebenzela yena loyo muntu oyi-one phakathi komndeni. But with me, when I say ngithwele, and I shem ngempela ngithwele. Ngithwele.
So akuwona mampunge lawa.
No, I don't want to play. I'm not playing with anyone. Ngithwele mina ngamadlozi wami. Meaning ngihambile ngayenza umsebenzi. Ngaceda umsebenzi wobunyanga, ngabuya, ngwafika umsebenzi wobungoma. Because I say to people that ubunyanga nobungoma, two different things. And people need to understand that. Because number one, maweni uyikehla. Maweni uyinyanga. Umaweni uses herbs ukulapha abantu. A lot of people don't understand with amagedla inyanga. In the olden days, they didn't have to go kuyothwasa because it was something that was passed on from generation to generation. Do you understand? But now, because we live in a world where we don't have those grandfathers, we don't have those grandmothers
modern world
that can tell us, Gusi, lalela lo muthi lo wenza so. You know very well that I rely on what? My dreams, right? I rely on the dreams to tell me ukuthi idlozi selifuna idlozi, especially makufanele ukuthi ngihlabe, makufanele ukuthi nyenze umsebenzi emfuleni or kunethuna that needs attention to. You know, I rely on what? My dreams. Besides ukuthi there's intuition, there's me feeling things or me seeing things or seeing, you know, like where I'm having visions. So umaweni uyinyanga, umaweni uyigedla, umaweni uhlala esigangeni, uwazi imithi, ulapha abantu ngemithi. So ngihambe ngayoyenza loyo msebenzi loyo. And then kwafika umsebenzi kabantu washoba lenkomo. If you hear amathwasa wami, wobe sekunjalo senkosi yami, wobe secela sokuvuthela phezulu kwababa njalo. Do you understand? And then whenever they talk about who they are, they will always say, Ngizala ushoba lenkomo kaSuthu. Shoba lenkomo is ubungoma bam, sangoma, ubunguni, ngiyakwaza. Do you understand? But aksum niggas one wesikhwama. But when I went through the whole journey of being a sangoma, I had to do what? Ngihlambulule ledlozi elingbathile so that ngenze ngilithwale. Ngizokwazi ukwenza umsebenzi wakhe uhlanganisa nami. I always say to people that I'm a strong believer in reincarnation. There are people who walk around or people who are born and they say, oh, you remind me of your great grandmother. Oh, you act like Rory, for instance. I believe Rory is not a child. I believe Rory came back with a piece of somebody else. He's too mature to be a 7-year-old. And that's where reincarnation comes in. That is why people need to understand ukuthi mangithi ngithwele ngedlozi ngithatha umsebenzi wabantu abadala ngawuthwala
angithi ngahlambulula la angithi into engenza ngibuze lokho ukuthi ngeke sizwe yini kusasa sekukhona wakini athi kunje mina nginje
ngoba
nangu ugogo maweni wathatha idlozi lasekhaya wathwala ngalo. Let's say owakini.
No, but I think it also comes with people knowing. I think one of the things that we're trying to create with this podcast is to instill knowledge. We're not saying that we know everything, but the bit that we know, we want to share it with the people.
Yes.
So when I say ngithwele, I'm not saying which I went and I blocked the ancestors so that they must not give back to whoever and they must look at me only. That is ukuphehlela amanzi amnyama. There's never the case would I ever have to do that. Do you understand? What I did, ngihambile amadlozi akhalile, but now ngithathe umsebenzi wedlozi. And honestly speaking, I never wanted to become a sangoma. I mean, hello, I thought me, cheese girl. I went to good schools. I speak great English. I know a designer. I had a driver. Do you understand? I know where I come from. So whenever I saw people who are sangomas or whatever that's got to do with spirituality, I was like, oh, hell no.
But asikubonge kuba isangoma wakho ngoba ngaba ngizange ngakubona mina yabo.
Okay, yeah, I guess. So ukuthwala ngedlozi ukuhamba kuyenza umsebenzi wabantu abadala, but also there's another form of ukuthwala ngedlozi. There's people who abahlabayo who do rituals at home. Do you understand? But people need to understand there's a thin line and a very thin line between doing rituals where you're sacrificing animals and slaughtering and ukuchitheka kwegazi and just pouring blood. There's a very thin line. There's some people that are not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And there are people that will do it so often that idlozi becomes used to it. And when you don't do it anymore, the money doesn't come like it's supposed to come. Do you understand?
So idlozi lakho usulipoyilile.
Yes, basically. So there's a very thin line in doing that as a normal human being. And I say normal in a sense yokuthi awunandumba, awulaphi abantu, awubuli. You're just a normal human being that believes in spirituality, that believes ukuthi we need to give back to our ancestors. We need to give thanks, you know. Not thanks yokuthi uthenge imoto ngesikoloto or you bought a house ngesikoloto sebank and then you want to do Thanksgiving. What are you thanking? The house or the car does not, they don't belong to you. You can't do Thanksgiving for that. It belongs to the bank. Once you have the title deed or the papers to the car, that's when you can do a Thanksgiving. Because now the ancestors have given you something. Unless if wenza umsebenzi okuncenga idlozi ukuthi please give me the power ukuthi ngikwazi ukubhadala isikoloto lesi esithize.
So basically you are saying ukuthi hlaba kodwa ekuhlabeni kwakho don't make your ancestors spoil brats.
Yeah, well, in layman's terms, but honestly speaking, I would advise people who are spiritually aligned, okay, to do that maybe once a year. Period, once a year. Nakhona you're only doing it
once a year.
No, Nakhona, you're only doing it to appease.
Okay.
You are having a Thanksgiving. You are saying thank you for 1, 2, 3. But please, people that are doing jobs for signing a bank contract and you are given a car and every month you are paying installment and you want to do a Thanksgiving, what are you thanking your ancestors for? It's not your car, it's the bank's car.
But
you've got a bond.
But when you are receiving the car, you are giving a big congratulations.
And then when you can't pay for it, what's going to happen? The bank is going to take it back. Even with houses, you've got a bond. Hey, sengihlala kuphi kuphi, I've got a house. Therefore, tshwantse ke be mponeng, ke etse mosebetsi and thank the ancestors. What are you thanking your ancestors for?
For qualifying for the bond.
I'd understand. You see there, we shayengo. I'd understand if you are doing a Thanksgiving to say ngiyabonga ukuthi ningipha amandla ukuthi ngiyithole le bond or whatever ngicela ukuthi ningikhanyisele phezulu komsebenzi so that I can pay it off. That I understand, and that I'm for. But not for you to say thank you. Hey, it's not your house. It's the bank's house. It's not your car. It's the bank's car. Don't do Thanksgiving for things that are not yours, because amadlozi wako azo sheshela emuva. Amadlozi azothi what is he thanking us for? Because at the end of the day, people mustn't be forward.
Okay.
There are people who are forward, who will do things unnecessarily so. Do you understand? Exactly, because now you've got a house, but you know you're paying monthly installments, right? You're paying a bond. Don't thank your ancestors for that. It's not your house. They didn't bless you with that house. The bank did. The house belongs to the bank. Therefore, what are you slaughtering for? What are you trying to attract? And when you are slaughtering, you might also awaken spirits that are not even supposed to be there.
It's what you fake it till you make it.
Unfortunately, spiritually, you'll fake it, and then you will attract the wrong people.
And then you didn't.
And then you
You didn't heal.
Do you understand? I think we need to move on to the next form of Ukuthwala. Which is very commonly known. I think everybody talks about Ama boys, Abafana. Bafana the boys.
Why do they have to be named after boys?
I think,
why not the girls?
I don't know. But I mean, when it comes to that, I think you can give more.
No, angithi mina igama lama boys ngiqale goal. Understand? So ingakho ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi wena njengomuntu wasegoli, why do you?
I think it's always been there. Boys? A lot of people, it's always been there with Ama boys. But then mina ngiyazi kahle njengomkhovu.
Cause
ngoba umkhovu nama boys into eyi-one.
So into eyodwa.
Umkhovu nama boys into
eyi-one. Mina njengamanje ngazi ukuthi kunotikoloshe, right? Of which utikoloshe umkhovu angithi.
Yes.
Ngala ngazi ukuthi egoli wonke umuntu oyinyanga nje wazi ukuthi yena unama boys.
No.
Wenza ama boys.
No.
And
not true.
That's why ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi why do they have to be boys? Maybe mhlambe kusetshenzwa ngespirit somfana.
For me, itikoloshi, Ama boys, umkhovu, they fall under one bracket for me, because if lomthetho ongiwazi, what was sent to me, because that thing was sent to me.
By who?
I don't know by who, but that little slimmer must send it again, because they can see ukuthi I'm not yini umfazi onamasende.
Ha, sukaneni madoda umahlula zinyanga ispoke sendoda.
Yeah, so I'm still standing. What was sent to me falls under this bracket. Boys, mkovu, yini, what else did we do? Itigolosh. Short. That thing was short that came to me. And if I did not fight then, I don't think I'd be sitting here right now.
Because mina ngazi ukuthi ngendlela esikhuliswe ngayo sonke sikhuliswe ngokuthi kunotikoloshe or umkhovu. Utikoloshe, it's something that cannot be seen by anyone. Mhlawumbe uzobona umuntu abantwana ingane ezincane.
Yes, children that can't talk. That's what I know. Sometimes you've got a child in the home. Umntana beka right. Umntana didn't have a problem. The child was okay. All of a sudden, the child starts screaming, or they don't know how to speak anymore. And they were crying. They were crying. There was a voice coming out. All of a sudden, the child can't speak. All of a sudden, the child has problems ngamehlo. All of a sudden, the child is misbehaving or whatever the case might be. It's because they saw something that they were not supposed to see.
So, ushukuthi lento yomkhovu lo ngendlela thina siyazi ngayo, siyazi ukuthi umkhovu usually kusuke kuthwetshula umuntu, kushintsha umuntu njalo njalo, right? Enziwe ngendlela ekusuke kufanele ukuthi bamsebenzise ngayo. Engakhuluma ngayo ile yokuthi there was a situation ngakithi at some point where bekunendoda, understand, eyashona. Ithe mayishona yangcwatshwa kwadlula isikhathi. Ekudluleni kwesikhathi yabuya ngephupho ebantwaneni bayo ukuthi ayihambe yombiwa lapha ethuneni ayishonanga. And then when they mabemba lapha bathola ukuthi ethuneni akukho lutho. You understand? Kodwa mabemngcwaba bangcwaba umuntu. Because lento yomkhovu le angithi usuku uthwetshuliwe uphila ebese kushiwa isithunzi sakho ukuthi at least abakini babe nento abazoyibona sengathi ikhona iwuwe khona bezoyingcwaba bengalokhu belandelela ukuthi usaphila or mhlawumbe uyasetshenziswa ngendlela osuku usetshenziswa.
So then I must ask, there's also a thing yokuthi umuntu makazo jika against umkhovu. A lot of my clients, I always say, if somebody just died out of the blue or died in their sleep, do you understand? And before they died, they showed signs of a suicide or whatever, but they were acting out of character. I always say, check the tongue. I know a lot of sangomas, true nyanga. We need the left hand.
I like the we in the conversation.
No, I'm a sangoma.
Yeah.
I can't exclude myself. Nyanga. I can't exclude myself.
Yeah.
I can't. If I exclude myself, that means I'm saying they do wrong and I'm not part of them.
And when
but I'm part of them. Do you understand? Because I am a sangoma. Nginyanga. Do you understand? And if bengipakamise isithunya bengizothi I'm a prophet, but I can't say that because angispakamisanga, although idlozi elihambiselana nesiprophet likhona. On another episode, we need to discuss people abaphethe amadlozi are different and how they maneuver spirituality in using all of the ancestors, nourishing all of the ancestors. Bangakhethi ibala ledlozi so that amadlozi wakhe akhulume ngelizwe eli1. When okay, this one is a different left hand. When sangomas want to use a human being, right? A human being ebese bamthwebulile ebamqale kudala. Because when bazokuthwebula bazokusebenzisela izinto ukuthi ube umkhovu, it starts before you actually die. You die while you are alive, literally.
Yes.
Do you understand? You die while you are alive. When you are supposed to be supposedly umkhovu.
Angithi akusiyena wonke umuntu ofayo ozosetshenziswa ukuba umkhovu.
Yeah, but I guess you die in this world.
Kukhona umuntu othola ukuthi ushonile ikhanda lakhe awulitholanga.
Yes. That's what I want to ask you. I want to ask you, ukuthi I know ukuthi inyanga kakhulu kudume isandla sika left.
Ingakho ke ngithi
kufana nemfene ngithi usebenzisa isandla sani esika left. But this is mainly for business people. Ukuthi
so manje okay.
But this will
That's
be a conversation.
Topic for another
yes. So I know with sangomans or inyanga or abathakathi or whatever you want to call them. Do you understand?
No, angithi njengoba ngitshela ukuthi ngiyazo ukuthi ekuhambeni kwesikhathi uyakwazi ukuthi uthathe ikhanda lo ugebhezi lekhanda lomuntu uncinde ngalo mangabe unecala ubhekene necala enkantolo ukuyoqeda amacala uncindele phezulu ekhanda lomuntu. You understand leyo nto leyo? Uyakwazi ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi usebenzisa umuntu ukuthi mawuhlola la endlini kubo yena okhuluma indaba. Uyayizwa lona? That thing goes back to yezigubhu lezi kuthiwa abantu uthwaliswe ngesigubhu. Thina sikhule sazi ukuthi isigubhu somlozi. Umlozi isigubhu sakhona segona sihlale emsamo sishaya ikhwele sitshele indaba umuntu ezongena lapha. Understand? So ingakho ngithi umuntu kuyenzeka kwesinye isikhathi ukuthi uthwetshuliwe ukuthi uzoba umkhovu, kwesinye isikhathi uthwetshuliwe ukuthi akusetshenziswe ama body parts wakho ngendlela basuke befuna ukuwasebenzisa ngayo.
Okay, then I'm asking you, as sangomas or inyanga or whatever, I know the popular one is that they use the tongue. They cut off the tongue, especially if maybe you are a neighbor and you are doing well and whatever, and you are jealous and you want to use this person as mkov. People mustn't go and pick useless people because they might not get to the riches that they want to get. And not a lot of times when you want to kill someone and make him a sacrifice for him to be somebody who's working for you in the spiritual realm, you need to go for somebody who's, you know, who's hardworking. Somebody that you know, will bring you the monies and whatever the case might be. But when I know the most popular one, when it comes to inyanga tsangomas that do these things where they batwebula bantu, they use the tongue, they use the left hand, or a chunk or a piece of a left hand. They also use inwele langaphandle, or a chunk of your neck, you know, behind, where it will be infused, obviously, ngemithi.
Yes.
Right. So that part I know. But I've also now learned that there are people who will use private parts. Especially, I also learned recently in, what country is this?
In Malawi.
In Malawi, where they use children's blood. They actually kidnap children and they use the blood of the children. They don't kill the children. It's like when you're donating blood, basically. That's how they actually eradicate blood from the body. And they use that blood for rituals because the child is still young, the child is still fresh. You know, the child is still able to do things, and you need maybe that kind of stimulation when it comes to your business, when it comes to your growth, or when it comes to livelihood, no matter what you're doing. And when I heard of that ritual, I was like, that is really bad. You know, I can do many things, and you know me. Anything that's got to do with destruction of children, I will never stand for. Anything that has to do with women and destructing women, I'll never. But men, any day, please, just sometimes we need to make examples of men, because a lot of you are deadbeat fathers, and if your baby mama comes to me,
but ukakhohlwa ukuthi imkhovu nayo inabafazi.
Yeah, inabafazi. Because I know for a fact if you go and you go buy umkovu and you do not buy, let's say for argument's sake, you buy umkovu who are a male, right? And you are staying, like we're staying together, and you come nomkovu wako ufisha in your room or whatever the case, and it's a male, that person is going to haunt me. I'm going to have sex with that mkovu. Because you are having sex, right? That is a human being that also wants to have sex. Another way of paying them spiritually, iswane, is by them having sex. So the best thing, if you're a person that is addicted to such things, that wants growth in these things, get a male and a female so that they can, you know,
make babies,
have fun, have sex. Otherwise, if you're a businessman that goes Yolanda umkovu and you bring it within your home and you have a wife and you have daughters, let me tell you, my brother, the mkovu is going to sleep with everybody from your wife to your daughters, whoever. So the best thing is to get a male and a female. Yeah, you wanted it, but I couldn't.
Because I know how to get it.
No, but the thing is, I could not allow you to do that because namatwasa, and amatwasa wam cannot undergo such things. So that is why we didn't. But if you wanted it, and you, like now, and you've got property in Pietermaritzburg, you can get it and put it in PMB. And then get somebody, because lento le umkovu ufuna umuntu ongcolile, umuntu ongagezi.
Angithi le nto le, it's one of the reasons ngingakwazanga ukulanda, because ngabuka ngendlela ekufanele ngibukeke ngayo mangiyuphakela.
Yeah, but now I get it's a different story. Then you didn't have land. You've got land now. You can go uyothola ubeke lapho at that property and then get umangcoli or unyaupe umtshela ukuthi lalela, I need you to feed this person every day at 4 o'clock. Umphakela amasi. But you are not allowed to bath because it needs to get used to what? The scent. You can't come there smelling all expensive in your Christian Dior, Oud Esfahan. It's not going to know who you are. But now you can do it. Back then, I couldn't allow you to do it. But now we've got so many properties, you can go and do it and put it there. I won't have a problem with it. Nobody's there. Matrasawame are not there. You can do it, but you need to get somebody who's going to feed it every day at 4 o'clock. It needs to be fed amasi.
So you have Samsoland.
I don't have a problem.
And I think it's so too much about comment.
Speaking about people who comment, at the end of this, there is somebody that I want to address. But anyway, so the other part would be Ukuthwala ngezinto ezenzakalayo at the graveyard. Also at the graveyard, uyakhona ukuthwala one ngomlotha womuntu, uyakhona ukuthwala ngamathambo umuntu, human bones. Uyakwazi ukuthwala ngani, as long as you've got those 3 ingredients. One, sand from the graveyard, amathambo omuntu or umlotha. No, if you're going to do anything, you're going to distract somebody, you need to go to a graveyard that you can see that these people have forgotten about this person. This person is not cared for. No, a lot of people don't understand. After a person dies and you don't take care of them, I'm not the only one that does that. It's just that I'm the bravest that will come out and say that I do that.
So uTugogo ngenzeka ubuseke wamsebenzisa umkhulu wakho.
Stop, it's not funny. So at the end of the day, you know, there's that graveyard yokuthwala ngomuntu osahambile. Leyo ibile, it's, if you're not scared and you're okay to see shadows, you're okay to hear things, because bakhuluma kakhulu endlebeni, now you'll see a shadow. You know, you'll see things moving in your home. If you're not scared of that, it's also one of the easiest ways of Ukuthwala, because it doesn't really demand a lot from you. Unless if uvuse indoda eneskwele, to a point you can't even have men around you because he doesn't want you to have sex. So basically, yeah, because now I get it. You must choose, Pella, when you want to twala. You can't have everything, guys. You must choose. If you want to be rich, you want to be successful, then you must give up having a family. You must give up something. So uTugogo basically, umkhulu wakho nogogo wakho bayasebenza ukuthi nje abasebenzeli wena. Yeah, because they do ababanakekeli mus. Yeah. Ababanakekeli. So uyazi into engifunda kakhulu kule nkulumo okhuluma ukuthi kufanele ithuna lakini uhambe uyolinakekela. Exactly my point. People need to understand that. Bame babe strong. Ngoba abantu bakithi bayasebenza. It's either basebenzela wena abanye abantu. No, basebenzela abanye abantu. And there was comedy that I was watching. This guy uthi apparently babe, what they were doing, amathuna lawakudala ne, where you just put the cup on top of the grave, and that's how you mark it. After marking the grave, kanti kuzofika imvula moved this cup to another grave. And then they start, bona mabefika, the cup is there. Bona baphahla ledlozi, baphahla lo muntu lo lapha ethuneni. Izinto zabo zahamba kahle. Understand? Mayahamba kahle lezi zinto zabo lezi. Manje baye sangomeni, sangoma sithi hayi niphahla umuntu wrong. Ngala izinto zihamba kahle. Because lo muntu bamphahlile umuntu ongajwayelanga ukuphahlelwa, umuntu ongajwayelanga ukusebenzisa. So a lot of ancestors, when you start appreciating them, guys, uyakhona ukuthenga idlozi nge1 rand. Just 1 rand. So I can literally have 1 rand coins and put them in the corner and say, wena njengoba ngokuvusa ngifuna lokhu nalokhu nalokhu, obviously with the muti as well that you'll be using, angithi, and you will get what you want.
Wow. So basically lama 1 rand
but you need to be okay with the fact that there are consequences in life, in everything that you choose to do. You must know there's a consequence. There is something that is going to happen. If you are okay with seeing shadows, if you are okay with hearing things, if you are okay with being alone and not having sex and not being with other men, if you are okay with having a home where it's just you and that person that you have awakened from the graveyard, then kudos, my darling. Good for you. Because at least this one doesn't need you to kill anybody from your house, from your family members. It just needs you.
Sisakhuluma ngaleyo ne. Uyakhumbula ukuthi mina nawe sine agreement.
Oh, that if I die first, please. Mina, if I die first, ngiyacela. If ungangenza umkhovu, I'm gonna have a problem. I want to be umkhovu. I'm hardworking. I'm a go-getter. I'm a fighter. You will send me to anywhere. I will stab those people for you. Me, I'm a fighter. As much as our agreement is that if
I die, mukhovu ne?
If you die first, you know I'm gonna bring you back. You need to make sure. And unfortunately, mangisengumkhovu ke lento angeke usaphinde uyenze nabanye abantu. Ngoba uzothi usathi uyafaka ngithi yes febe ufunani la. Angitshele yini into okulethela.
Wetsala.
Udira la.
Kahle kahle. That's
never gonna happen.
What do we
just to wrap off Ukuthwala, I think one of the other things that we did not touch, we know Guti, there is a form of Ukuthwala where you use insila yemali, which I offer. Do you understand? Insila yemali. No, insila. Ibizwa insila yemali.
That's why I'm from.
But I offer that ritual, right? No, it's got to do with coins. You know, you've seen people come with me with silver coins, and then sehambe siyohlaba emfuleni bathwale imbuzi acatshwe aphahle abike ashweleze aphalaze afuthi. Do you understand? So that will be insila yemali, which means we are making imali. Yebo. That imali ikuthande noma ufutha ngemali. Do you understand? We are futa. You steam in those coins. Do you understand? Even mawfika emfuleni, you throw those coins at the river because you are giving back to your ancestors. So that is a ritual that I offer in Sila Yomali. Do you understand? So that money loves you. Money is attached to you. You attract money. Do you understand? Where there's money, you gain. Even if they said you were supposed to get 500,000, you get 1 million. Do you understand? And you don't know how. That is insila yemali. But there's also a ritual where we say iskwama semali.
So before siyela esikhwameni, bengifuna ukwazi ngale khona imali edume kakhulu. I don't know whether it's a ritual yemali, but kunento nje edume kakhulu ekuthiwa imali esheshayo.
No, I don't offer
so
that.
I mean,
there's no such.
The reason why ngibuza, it's because I don't understand. Nangazi ukuthi ukushesha is when you are quick, you are walking, or
I don't offer that.
The reason why ngibuza imali indaba zemali esheshayo, it's because baningi abantu kuthiwe akafake imali engango-1,000 uzothola imali engango-1 million.
I actually am
imali engango-500 athola imali engango-500,000.
I don't know whether I should say I am used in that. A lot of people on Facebook, search for Maweni. See the number of Baibitang accounts that pop up. Go to TikTok.
Yeah, umashkwe.
I went on TikTok and I searched Maweni. I reached so many accounts that say Gogo Maweni with my pictures.
So how many
And
accounts
these
do you have
people,
then?
I have one account. I just
And
need
then
to make
those
sure.
accounts?
I think I need to make sure that they're verified. But the problem about verification now is that you pay for it. I don't believe that I must pay 200 every month just to have a badge. Do you understand? Also, people need to stop being desperate. People need to be vigilant. I can't help you to know that this is me and whatever the case might be. If you see me doing lives on a certain account, then you know that for fact it's mine. Obviously, a scammer cannot do a live.
But angithi abanye kuyenzeka ukuthi athola ukuthi akasenayo isho noma wena noma kusiyiwe cause
I've given out so many things, Sabelo, but no, I cannot. I don't feel sorry for people who are scammed. And I've said this a number of times. I've given out my address. You Google my address, you'll find it. On where I have blue ticks of accounts, my address is there. Where there are all my accounts that have a lot of followers, and I say followers because I will say people who believe in me, because I really don't, you know me, I block so many people every day. I'm out there blocking because I'm trying to eradicate what? Negativity. I don't have time for negativity. Negativity is not going to do anything for me. And the people that are talking negatively about me are people who have their own issues. Umuntu anganatwa. Akana nix. Akana. Hayi shem isiphukupuku sokuqina. Yeah? But they're going to talk about me. So in order for me not to respond, I can't respond to 6 people. Rather let me block you. You know what happens, Lala? I block you and I continue with my life. I don't care what's happening. Some people have restricted, but those that have restricted are the same people who will DM me and ask me for help. But they're under, I can see Instagram, are restricted. There's a reason why I restricted you, swine. So stay there. So at the end of the day, people need to understand there's no such thing as imali esheshayo. I do not, and I do. I've said this a number of times. There are people who are out to scam people. My address is there. I've even given it my personal number. Okay? My number is out there. You know, we sleep in the same bed. My phone rings at 1, at 2, at 3. And if I'm able to answer, I always answer. People know. So I don't feel sorry for the scammers. I do not perform any ritual that is called imali esheshayo. There is no such thing as imali esheshayo. There are people who say they put 1,000 in the scammer's account and the scammer has said that they're going to get 1 million. In your rightful mind, as a learned person, as a person that is sane, how are you going to give somebody 1,000 and they're going to give you 1 million? Huh? Where have you heard of that? At least 1,000. I had a woman, I had a granny who took her pension. The way these scammers work.
Lo wamthathela 2.5 million.
2.5 million. A scammer who's pretending to be me. Ne? This granny gave the scammer 2.5 million, and the scammer that pretended to be Maweni said that they were going to give her 10 million by Friday. When that granny came to my house, or whatever, those people, when I told her, it's not me, and we looked through the accounts and I showed her, and she fainted. I can't help her. How many people have I tried to help through this thing of scamming? How many scammers have I caught? Now I'm tired, Bagit. I can't keep catching people for clients' safety. Clients need to be vigilant. And it's funny. When they give the money, they give it to the scammer. When they want the refund, they find the right Mawin.
They know where to find you.
That is why I won't feel sorry.
So, asibuyele kule yesikhwama semali. Bokhuluma ngesikhwama semali before
isikhwama semali njengoba sithi isikhwama semali, but obviously in everything that we do
so ufele
spiritual.
emntwini kahle kahle.
No. Isikhwama semali is very safe bakithi. Very safe, very efficient, and it works. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to get. Isikhwama semali njengoba ngisebenza mina ngiyinyanga esebenzayo, and I will actually emphasize on ngiyinyanga esebenzayo ngoba ngiyinyanga
Esuthayo.
Stop. But
we are emphasizing.
no, I emphasize on ukuthi ngiyinyanga because people need to understand ukuthi uma wena uyinyanga ushoba lenkomo uyisangoma. And before ushoba lenkomo there's maweni umnikazi one wesikhwama. I had to unite the two ukuthi bakhulume ngelizwe liyi-one kungabi nokudonsa-donsana ube ngathi izinto ziyasebenza kufika izinto zimile kunokuliwa izinto zihambi kahle kusho ukuthi amadlozi awasazwani. So amadlozi they are aligned like my lineage. They know who's who comes when and what is needed, and we don't forget about Abandao. But I think when we have a conversation about spirituality and people who undergo the rite of Ukuthwala and whatever, then we'll speak in depth about that. But honestly, people, that is why I emphasize with Nginyang. And as Nginyang, and we use a lot of animal body parts. So when it comes to isikhwama semali, we use the kangaroo pouch.
Oh yeah?
Which is
So a kangaroo has a pouch?
Yes.
Go join kangaroo ngesiZulu.
The one that hops, I don't know in Zulu, the one that hops and the child is in here. It's called isikhwama semali.
Okay.
But it's very difficult to get it. So ihambiselana nemithi and the kangaroo pouch.
Okay.
So isikhwama semali.
So leyo mawunayo uvelulale uvuke sonemali.
Leo velulala uvuke senemali yileya yenyoka nokuthwala nomndeni. Le ihambisana nokuthi une business uyasebenza. A lot of the things that I do, for example, you have to have some form of income. I'm only there to enhance. I'm going to give like, that money on a bigger platform.
So basically what you are saying, when you are giving someone a spring, bona they just need to jump.
Yes, I'm there to enhance. That's what I do. I'm there to enhance. I'm there to give you on a greater platform. If you are eating with a side plate, I'm here to give you with the main plate. Ne? And if the main plate is too small, I'm here to give you with the tray. That's my job.
If the tray is too small, you are here to give them uqobo.
Whatever the case might be. But guys, I think we can wrap up. We've spoken about everything. We've spoken about the different forms of Ukuthwala. I hope that people did understand. And yeah, we actually want you to send us questions. We want you to send us comments. We want to read what you guys think. And if this episode has helped anyone, and if they have questions, we are here to answer your questions. We are here to dig deeper. We are here to tell you the truth.
So namhlanje sicela ukuyibeka la i-episode yethu ebesikhuluma khona ngokuthwala lapho kuhlangene khona uvela bahleke nomfazi onamasende, the woman with balls. Ebesikhuluma ngakho besikhuluma ngokuthwala. So today sicela ukuyibeka la namhlanje. Lalela lapho on the comments sitshela ukuthi wena uzizwa kanjani nokuthi ufuna ukuthi sikhulume ngani next time nokuthi kuphi la unga understandanga khona. Lalela, don't forget to hit that like and